Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here right now with San and Brandy, and because of the bad weather that we're having, we're being forced to do our videos in the puppy playroom today. So the first thing that we're going to be introducing to you is the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of that leash folded in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we use is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. San is going to come home with a collar that they call a martingale, and it is a soft fabric with a little chain in the back, and that's used for training. Now, we're starting out with San on Brandy's left side is where all of our obedience training is done. She is sitting at what we call heel position, which is neutral with your left leg. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is San heel. When you give San the command to heel, she has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when walking, not forging ahead or lagging behind, and each time that you stop your feet, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. If she doesn't sit, you give that little tug and release on the training collar as a reminder, and you may use treats if you find that to be helpful, which I think you will. Now, the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and I was practicing with the girls this morning together in the playroom off leash, and they were both doing their commands really nicely. This little video is so that you get a chance to see all of the commands performed properly so that you can use them at home in your everyday living situations. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel position and back sitting. Now she's back in her sit-stay position. All right, return to her. Brandy walks all the way around her, and she remains seated. She laid down on that last sit, but we give a little room for margin of errors with these toy breeds that were not bred to do obedience training. Now Brandy takes off heeling with her again. She's talking to her to keep her motivated. She's going to leave her again in another sit-stay. Brandy, if you want to use treats, that's fine. Brandy leaves her in a sit-stay, and this time we're going to demonstrate the come on command. The command is San come and sit, and then she gets her little treat as praise, because coming to you should always be a good thing, and San is not as good at coming on leash as her sister. Nice automatic sit. Brandy's going to leave her in another sit-stay. She walks out to the end of the leash and she turns to face her. And then when she's ready, we're going to make her try to hold these commands a little bit longer. Brandy's going to use her name in the come command. So that was your come, and she comes in front and she sits. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you, this command was a little bit harder for San, and this is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left at heel, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and use the one-word command to down and stay. And she looks like a little wind-up toy doing obedience. She's so adorable. Make her lengthen out those sit stays and those down stays, because what we're doing here by using these commands with these girls is teaching them that you are the pack leader and that they don't need to be. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her, returning all the way back to where she started. And every time you get back to heel position, she expects to get another command. So Brandy will heel her out of that exercise, and we're going to demonstrate that down from a heel position again. So So you always have her sitting first. If she's not sitting, then you need to enforce it. Down and stay. And you have to let her know every time what you expect her to do. And now Brandy will call her in out of that one. She has her sit. And we encourage her with a little bit of food motivation, even though we are not really a food-based training school. But with a 9-year-old Pomeranian, definitely she needed some motivation. Now the last exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a distance. So Brandy's going to leave her in a sit-stay. She's going to turn and face her. She's going to use her right hand to give the command and drop her into a down from a bit of a distance. Now unfortunately, we're limited in space in this playroom, so you kind of got the condensed version of all of the obedience commands. We're amazed at how smart these girls are and as eager to please as they are. We know that you're going to be extremely proud of them. We're going to be back in a minute with Kiki to show you her version of her commands, and we'll be going over with you how to eliminate this barking from your life and to continue on with your obedience training. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.